right. Representative Mayberry, I believe you, well, first of all, let me make this announcement. The time for the next committee meeting we have found is in conflict with another meeting that we have, so we'll be announcing when the next meeting will be at a later time. So it'll probably come through being posted or an email from the Health Committee. So thank you. All right, Representative Mayberry, you're recognized.
Hello?
Yes.
Thank you, Madam Chair. My question is for the co-chairs, and it's regarding an item that was originally on the agenda for today's meeting, and I know we've had individual conversations about this, but originally there was an agenda item pertaining to CFCO, Community First Choice Option, which is an item that we have had discussion about in this meeting for almost 2 years. We've had periodic updates from Mr. Cecile and Dr. Green, and I noticed early in the week that had been removed from the agenda for today, and as we're nearing implementation of this, or what the proposed implementation timeline was, I know that there are individuals who have some questions, and so I was curious, and I've addressed this in our individual conversations, but for the benefit of this committee and for those who may be in attendance here today, because I think that we've got a number of people who are here to partake in that particular discussion. Why? I'm curious as to why that was removed from the agenda.
Well, thank you for that question, Representative Mayberry. As you and I have discussed privately, at first it seemed to be a very good idea to allow both sides to come. We would have those who were for the CFCs, and Mr. Selig's information as a PowerPoint has already been distributed to the members of the committee, and this is what we were going to do today. Then next month we were going to bring those people that were against it and let them tell the committee. But in doing a lot of research and my due diligence, I realized that we cannot in this committee discern who is right and who is wrong. It was, you present one group and they have their information, and then you present another. And this is and we don't have the ability to decide who is right and who is wrong in this interim. We will be taking that up in the 2015 session, and I know that this has been a very difficult thing and a long process, but to make a wise decision, it didn't seem to be rushing it as we would be doing in this interim committee did not seem to be the best thing for the CFCs or for those who had some real problems with it. But let me say this. We understand that DHS has been working for many months with providers on various aspects of payment reform that are not dependent upon community first choice. These are significant changes to the home and community-based service system. A lot of time, effort, and money has gone into this, and we know that no one wants to waste money. But we strongly encourage the department to get with the area agencies on aging, the DDPA, and other stakeholders to wrap up this work on those rules and get them to us as soon as possible so that we'll have time to review them. And then in the 2015 session, we believe that we will be farther ahead and that we will have a lot of the information that we need and the time to do the right thing. And I know you're not happy with that, Representative Mayberry, but that is the decision of the chairs.
Well, I would like to add that I heard your concern, Representative Mayberry, and I'd originally supported putting it on the agenda, and I think it would be good to have it on there, not necessarily for a vote, but simply for a discussion, because I don't understand it. I likely won't support it based on what I do understand about it, but I didn't think there was any harm in bringing it to the full committee for a discussion to begin, should the department choose to pursue whatever it's going to pursue.
I know that this is a particular item that has been brought to this committee multiple times. We've had periodic updates regarding it for almost 2 years now, and I understand that there are some questions that some may have regarding it. And in my mind, it is our duty as elected representatives that's part of what the interim is for, is to provide more time to delve into a topic that needs further due diligence, and so to kind of punt this ball down the field, or to kick the can down the road, doesn't seem to be in the best interest of this legislative body or the people of the state of Arkansas. I know, for instance, on regarding the developmental disability waiver waiting list, we've got almost 3,000 families, Senator, that have been on that waiting list, some of them up to 8 years, and they've been promised along the way that there's an end in sight. And for us to simply take 6 months off, I don't think that's a good idea for us.
Well, thank you for that, Representative Mayberry. But
I would like to make a motion, if a motion is the appropriate term that we need to use, a motion to put this back on the agenda for informational purposes next month.
We don't have a quorum. The
Well,
chair
then why
does
are we
not
having
see
a meeting
quorum.
today?
Well, no, we can have a meeting because there's nothing that needs a quorum. We just have reports today. We do not have a quorum.
Senator, I know that you have been a longtime advocate of greater transparency in government.
Representative Mayberry, we had this question and we had this conversation, and I would ask that you give us the time in the 2015 session. I have been on the Public Health Committee since my days in the House. I realize the waiting list. I have been a critic of that waiting list that seemed not to, it seems like no one ever left the waiting list. So I understand what you're saying, but I cannot see how presenting both sides without a way to discern who is right would help us at this time. So, as the chair of this committee, we do not have a quorum, and so I would think that we need to go on to the next item. Thank you very much. All right, we are taking the next item, item E. Mr. Shoup, you are recognized. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't look here to see that. All right. Let's see. Senator Chesterfield, you're recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I recognize the prerogative of the chair. And this committee deals with issues that have both sides all the time. And it is our responsibility as legislators to also discern what is good and what is bad, but it does not mean that we should ignore conversations. And I'm very much concerned that people don't feel jerked around, because at the end of the day, our job is to respect and to represent all of the points of view. Whether we agree with the points of view or not, we ought to hear them. So I am, as Representative Mayberry, I know we do not have a quorum, but I would ask the chair to reconsider and to put this on the agenda for the upcoming meeting so that people who have come a long way get to have their voices heard. Thank you, Madam Chair.
All right, thank you. Representative Ingram, you're recognized.
Well, I was a representative, and then I got elected to the Senate. But
I'm sorry.
I was a mayor before that. So.
Okay. All right.
Madam Chair,
I
too want to echo. I drove down here today to hear this testimony, and I think we shortchange ourselves when we don't allow. I mean, to hear both sides to try to make a decision. I just want information on this. The information that I've gotten, this is one of the most complex issues, and quite honestly, and I know you've been through many sessions, but if you have, you know that hearings are rushed during the session. We have a hard time in the Senate getting quorums in committees because people are running bills in other committees. And this is a major issue, and I too would like to see this brought next month so we can at least hear all of it. Now, we're not making a decision, but we've got to, and you're very kind to recognize me, I'm not on this committee, but because of all the conversation, that's why I'm here today. I came here to try to learn and listen. So I would urge you to reconsider your decision and put this just for informational purposes next month, where we can learn more about it as a body. Thank you for recognizing me.
Okay. All right. Representative Murdoch.
Okay, thank you, Chairman Bledsoe. And again, we echoing the same thing. It seems like the train is getting loaded now, and I think you got the picture. And so we're pleading to you. We're respectful of your position as the chairman and what you've been through the many sessions. But obviously, we work for the people. We speak for the people. And when they speak, we have to listen. So irregardless of what our personal experiences or even our personal thoughts may be, I think we are government by the consent of the governed, and we have to make sure we listen to those that elected us. So I, along with Senator Ingram and like the rest of them, just beg your pardon in this particular case and allow us to hear this at the next meeting, if it be your will, please.
All right. Senator Flowers.
And I'll just throw my voice in to echo as well, Madam Chair. Besides echoing the request for a hearing on this matter, I'd also encourage the Department of Human Service and Behavioral Services to work with individuals that have some interest in this topic. I understand that there has not been meetings for task force or some kind of committee that was set up, and that concerns me. And as a member of the Public Health Committee, I'd hate to come in January and have to have limited information from either side or both sides, and that might be subject to a motion for immediate consideration, and then have to take a vote on something that I don't fully understand that affects so many people in the state of Arkansas. And so it seems to me that this body needs to hear both sides, and if nothing else comes of it, we're not going to vote on it, but at least both sides could be understanding what the concern of either position is, and it might work to hammer out something that would make a better piece of legislation with understanding. I think understanding is the key to any kind of legislation that we have, but we need to have laws that are considerate of all sides and are fair. And we need our people in Arkansas educated as to what to expect from the laws that we pass. So I think we need to, in the interim, have a full hearing and allow each side to express themselves and their concerns about this issue. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Before you... When trying to get with those who were for the CFO option and those who were not, the problem that most of us face is trying to discern what information is correct. We can hear all of these things and all of this information, but at the end of the day, we have to say, who is right? Is that information right? Because with one saying, well, if you do this, then this is going to happen, and the other side says, no, that's not true. So it's very difficult to know who is putting out the correct information. But as I said before, I do think that Mr. Cecile meeting with the area agencies on aging, the DDPA, and other stakeholders to wrap up this work would really help. But I believe we have come to something that might be a solution. Senator Dishman, you're recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. and I think there's a lot of conflicting opinion about this. And right now, I think we're at the point of just having opinion about it. I don't think the numbers have been fully vetted. I think there's agreement to that on both sides. I'd like to make a recommendation. I think earlier when we didn't have a quorum, part of that was because I was out and other members were out working on a couple other issues. What I'd like to do is recommend that we send the CFCO issue to the Health Services Subcommittee, where both sides can be heard, a presentation can be made or developed that will be actually then turned and presented to this Public Health Committee. In that meeting where that presentation developed by the Health Services Subcommittee will also allow time for testimony for both sides to make the case. But again, that would be just for informational purposes on both occasions. But again, it'd be my recommendation that we refer the issue out to the Health Services Subcommittee for further discussion and for the development of a presentation to this committee.
Well, ladies and gentlemen of the committee, I think that's a great recommendation. Just we're not taking a vote on it, but if you would be interested in seeing that done, would you please just raise your hand? All right, I think we'll do that. We will send this issue to the Human Services Subcommittee, and we will let both sides present their views and come back to this committee. All right, Representative Murdoch.
Thank you so much, Chairman, and thank you, Senator Dismay. So the chairman of that subcommittee is Representative Word, I understand?
Health Services.
Services, and let's see, I can tell you who's on that.
Yeah, Mr.
Chairman James.
I'm sorry, Mr.
Oh,
Mayberry.
all right. Mr. Representative Mayberry, you're the chair. Vice Chair Betty Overby, Richard Womack, Mark Perry, Fred Love, Kelly Link, and we'll just send that to your committee.
Thank you so much. So that's what I was concerned about, is when that meeting will be called, but I'm sure with Chairman Mayberry here, it'll be for pretty
we don't
quick.
have that.
Thank you.
We'll get that to you. All right. We will give notice to everyone on the subcommittee and to those that are involved in this issue. Thank you very much.